the kid. Jesus Christ. Oh, hey. We're here. We're live. We're talking about Power Rangers today.
We are?
If you hadn't noticed, Cookie Face is in full effect right now. Look at what's wrong with you.
Nothing. It's been a great day, man.
Why?
It's just a good Saturday.
What did you do today that was so great?
Sleep.
Sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently you're still sleeping. You can't open your eyes like a fucking normal human being.
Racist.
But well, you want to hear what he said earlier? Hey, you guys want to see a video Jezzer created of Migdalia?
What?
Remember the one that we did the ramen challenge? Watch this.
Oh no! Don't do that! Don't do that!
Why?
Don't do that!
It's a good video. What can they super chat for it?
No.
Yeah, they can super chat for it.
Super chat for it.
We're gonna be talking about Power Rangers today. We're gonna be talking about. Let's talk about the best of 2018.
Sweet.
That sounds like a fucking great idea. Yeah. I said sounds like. So, we're okay. We're okay. The censors didn't catch that. Sounds like. Talking about 2018. Power Rangers. This is a big year for Power Rangers. This is a big year for all that stuff, right? For Power Rangers, Tokusatsu, Morphicon.
New Rangers, new me.
What?
You know, when they say new year, new me. New year, new Rangers.
In your mind, did that sound right? Did it sound right in your head?
It did.
And coming out, did it sound the same?
I thought it did.
No, it didn't. It did not. Hey, so you were dating a girl. Just wanted to kind of sidetrack this. Can you talk to me about why you're not seeing her anymore?
I like keeping my organs inside myself.
Did you tell me that you walked in and like there was like nothing there?
Yeah.
You go, hey, did you just move in? No, I've been here for 3 years. You're like, what? I'm just kidding. Is that true?
You see, he's like, hey, why are the plastic bags all over the house? Oh, fuck.
That's a little insight into Jezzer's life, but we're going to be talking about Power Rangers today, not Jezzer's life. But sometimes I feel like we should talk about your life because it is pretty entertaining. But first thing first, we have the Super Chat feature, which I'm sure you guys already know, helps support the show, and it gives us things to get back to you.
Above.
Also, earlier, I should say yesterday, I wrote an article about JDF and a possible.
Last night.
I wrote it the night before last night, but it came out yesterday. But it was JDF responding to the Soul of the Dragon spin-off TV show. And I actually did talk to him about this before I wrote the article. Actually, no, I wrote the article and then I told him like, yo, here's the deal. Here's what I want to do. Can I get a quote from you? And he's like, you know, man, yeah. And he gave me.
So how does that conversation start off though? Like, do you like, hey, hello, Mr. JDF?
No, it
Can I talk to you for
starts off via text message, and it's
Okay.
like, hey, I'm running a story about Soul of the Dragon, and I just wanted to grab a quick quote from you. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, and you know, we talked for a while about the whole project. He really wants to do it. He really is trying to do it and trying to get it out there. Here's the thing, though, and I find this kind of very intriguing, and I'm hoping that Hasbro kind of opens its eyes up to this. Because I will say this about Hasbro taking over, and what I am excited for, is that if you look at what they've done recently, I mean, box office may not show up, but Transformers, it's smart to go with Bumblebee. Like, start off with something fresh, something new. Technically the most popular, I would say the most popular Autobot, with the exception of Optimus Prime. Bumblebee, the most popular Autobot. But then now, as we announced here at that hashtag show, they're also going to do a G.I. Joe solo Snake Eyes movie, which is arguably the most popular G.I. Joe. So why not do a spin-off TV show?
How are we going to connect with him if he doesn't talk, though?
Who?
Snake Eyes.
Well, Bumblebee doesn't technically talk either, right?
Well, there's some form of communication.
Well, maybe sign language, man.
Is he
ASL's a real thing.
Is he going to have like a counterpart like Haley Steinfeld with him?
Maybe, or maybe this is right before he loses the ability to talk.
No. Well, it's yeah, okay.
So either way, I think it'd be interesting to get that. But the Soul of the Dragon spinoff is something that he actually does want to happen, and he's on board for it. Now, here's the cool ideas that I was kind of exploring, though, which I was going to flesh out, but I didn't get to. But imagine this. We do get a Soul of the Dragon where it's Tommy around this age. We get an older JJ, but we also get to bring back the cast of SPD.
Yes.
At least Sky, Bridge, Z.
Yes.
And Sid.
If he's not too busy on Star Trek.
Or he was also on Supergirl, I just recently saw as well.
Sky?
Oh, I'm sorry. He was on... Yeah, he was on Supergirl.
Okay.
He was on Supergirl recently. So it would be cool to bring all those characters back. And this would almost kind of be a continuation. Think of it as like a Soul of the Dragon television series, but also like SPD season 2.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of cool.
That would be a cool
right?
idea, actually.
So I really like that idea, and I think that if done correctly, also why not bring back Greg Aronowitz as the executive producer?
Ooh.
And that
what
way,
season did he leave off on?
He left off on SPD. But I think it would be kind of cool to bring him back as well. So not only are you just getting JDF back, but you're tying it into the overarching story that is SPD.
Yeah.
I know that we have the Deca Ranger, so maybe we get our first, well, not our first, but we get our first Boom Studios comic Ranger come to life in television show version. And I think it's something that I think that Hasbro, if they really wanted to make an impact, this is the way they do it. But we already have a super chat. Jezzer, make that cum face you just made.
Super chat!
There you go. That's that cookie face. Feeling exhausted. This is from the Blur. Feeling exhausted. Played PS4 Spider-Man all day. All day. That's quite a game to play all day, right? You finished it, right?
Yeah. Not 100%.
How long did it take you to finish the main story?
I don't know. A few weeks.
Just not as smart as other people. I think, though, that with the... Oh, we got another super chat. You want to read that one?
Andrews the Warrior High Alpha says, guys, awesome idea. Power Rangers Warriors, a video game, just like Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, Orochi Warriors, Gundam, but in Power Rangers. That'd be cool. But like just a bunch of putties. Have you ever played Dynasty Warriors?
No.
It's like it's a hack and slash. It's like all these like Chinese dynasty fighters against like a whole infantry.
I see. It's like that arcade X-Men game.
Kind of. But it's hordes. It's like hundreds and hundreds.
What'd you say?
Hordes?
Oh, okay.
No, not hordes.
Just checking. It's a family show.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Said sounds good. So here's the thing. I think that we could definitely do this show. Not we can, but Hasbro can. And I think that it would be a great way to show kind of that homage to the older fans that have stuck with the show. Mm-hmm. But also, this is a good way to get you a new audience. Maybe, look, the way that people consume streaming, or people consume television now, or anything really, any media is really through streaming. That's why it does so well. And later on, speaking of streaming, later on today, we're going to be doing a show called The Box Office Showdown, where we're going to be talking about the latest in box office news. We're also going to be talking about Bird Box and the Black Mirror episode. Actually, I suggest watching that Black Mirror thing and playing all the interactive things. It's pretty awesome. We're going to be going deep into that. That's what she said.
If they don't make a TV show, or if they were to make a TV show, where would they place it?
Netflix. They already have a contract there.
Okay.
So I think this would be a great Netflix show. I think this is something they could actually do. But also, I think it's something that JDF wants to be a part of, and getting those SPD cast members can be pretty solid.
Would you be okay with another graphic novel instead?
I think, look, here's the way I look at this, is that Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, arguably the most popular X-Men, even though he's not my favorite, but he's the most popular X-Men. Got a pretty cool send-off with the Old Man Logan, the Logan movie. Mm-hmm. I think that with JDF kind of being arguably the most popular Power Ranger, and for him to really kind of retire and pass the torch, this is something that's kind of needed. Mm-hmm. So the rest of the universe can build on, and then people can get Austin back, or Amy Jo back, or whatever. So I think that would be kind of cool.
That's cool.
You got any thoughts on that?
I'd be down to see it. I just don't... You think Hasbro would be willing to pull the trigger on that?
I don't know. They did a Bumblebee movie, right?
Yeah.
They're doing a Snake Eyes movie, so there's a lot worse choices they can make.
Definitely.
I guess they can make a Micronauts movie that nobody wants. But that's going to do... I mean, I was going to say that's going to do it. We're done for we're done for the day. Actually...
that's a record 10-minute show.
Actually, we got the best of 2018 coming up right now, and we got a list together. Jezzer and I did a list. Do you have your list that you sent in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have the answers.
Okay, so we're gonna do this list, and we're gonna start. We put a list together on the best things of 2018.
And we want to hear your guys' too.
We also want to hear your guys' opinions on this. So follow along, and we're gonna do something special. Every time you agree with me against Jezzer, I get to slap him in the face.
What the?
Every time you agree with Jezzer, he has to take a shot. Just kidding. We got another super chat though. It says, this is Mr. Ray, who's one of our writers, who also did a list that's on that #show.com.
Who would you cast as JJ?
Who would I cast as JJ? Well, I guess an unknown actor. I wouldn't cast anybody of, like, substance.
I would cast, do you remember, what is that? Man of Steel.
What?
There's a kid that played young Clark Kent in that movie. I'd cast that guy.
I wouldn't cast a name. Cast somebody, no.
Really?
No. Why would no?
He's not a huge name.
But that would overshadow I think that would overshadow the show.
But don't you want to pass the torch from a character like?
Yeah, but are you going to be able to keep that character along with? Hey, yeah, let's pass the torch to Dylan O'Brien.
No.
Let's get like Dylan O'Brien, JJ.
I don't think he's gonna be.
Yeah, no shit. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't work.
His name is Dylan Sprayberry.
All right, so you ready? for this best of 2018?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way to the top. You ready? So our first category. Don't look at my answers.
Well, it's not like a game.
Yeah, it's a game. Most shocking
list.
moment of 2018 in the Power Rangers world. You want to start, Jezzer, or do you
Yeah.
want me to start?
Yeah, I'll start.
Okay.
Draken stabbing Tommy.
Ooh, that's a good
back.
one.
That
That's a
was
good one. Let's talk about this moment. It was a shocking moment. They killed off Tommy in the comics, and it changed the history of.
What was great about this moment is we got to read it in a crowd with Boom Studios in a crowd at WonderCon, right? Everybody got the issue early, and then everybody's reading silently, and then all of a sudden you hear just a bunch of gasps because they hit that scene.
Really?
Yeah, it was like everybody's super quiet. Everyone's just like, like fuck.
So wait, you went to a panel where everybody read to themselves? The panel was literally just everybody reading?
No, that was like
that sounds like a library.
That was like the last half of it. Like they passed because the comic wouldn't have come out like for another 2 weeks, but Boom Studios gave everybody a special edition.
You sold that, didn't you? No, you gave it to me, actually, I think.
Oh, yeah, I think I did.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
All right, so that's a good one. That's a good one. I think my most shocking moment of 2018 is when Vesper died on Hyperforce.
That was your shocking moment?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was like the best episode of Hyperforce.
The build-up was just so long, though. You know?
It was long, but it was kind of a good payoff, right?
A 2-hour episode.
I think, they're all very long, but I think it was a good payoff. I think that shocking moment kind of like set in her like turn was like kind of great. Like I it's not something that I saw coming. And I also love the reaction of when they did it. They're like, wait, what's going on? They were like legitimately upset with it. But to me, I think that was my most shocking moment.
But you knew that wasn't going to stick, though.
Nothing ever sticks, right?
Yeah.
Not in Power Rangers. Some things do. It's not like comic books, though. But I do think that was my most shocking moment of 2018. Okay. Let's move on to our next one. Oh, let's see in the chat what their shocking moment of 2018 was.
Okay.
We gotta see. We have LOL, Dino Thunder. I don't know what they're talking about, so they're not following along. Thanks, guys. So we're gonna move on to our next topic.
Okay.
We are going to be talking about our biggest letdown of 2018 in the Power Ranger comics. Power Ranger universe.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Okay.
It is Beyond the Grid.
Oh man, we are on the same page.
Beyond the Grid, I think, is as of right now.
The transition from Shattered Grid to Beyond the Grid was disappointing.
Yes, I think we went through this like really big high, and then kind of like, okay. Is this like the palate cleanser? Once you get like a really good meal, and it's like, hey, let's try that other place down the street. Like, yeah, no, I don't like that so much.
And I know we're really early into the comic arc, but I feel like I don't see any signs of it, getting drastically better, So yeah, that's also mine. Beyond the Grid, the transition from Shattered Grid.
Well, in the chat, the Blur says their biggest letdown moment of 2018 is learning that Nick is keeping Power Rangers for another 2 years.
Oh yeah,
it's actually another 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. That is a good one though.
That is a good one. Biggest letdown from Blackwing says the Ninja Steel finale. It really sucked.
Oh.
Just like a regular episode.
Yeah. It felt like any Nickelodeon.
Mr. Ray, one of our writers, says the Ninja's biggest letdown was Ninja Steel. Biggest disappointment. Chip Lynn comments at PMC says Drew biggest disappointment. Drew says no, it's not his name. His name's just Drew. He says at PMC. Chip Lynn's comments.
That is true.
It's a good one. Let's see. We got Rosie. Super Ninja Steel always felt like a letdown. Toku Kid, biggest thing of 28. This is dumb. It's a dumb comment.
You're dumb. That's not Power Rangers.
It's not Power Ranger related whatsoever. But yeah, I think that was the biggest letdown.
It was.
Well, Ninja Steel, I guess, is a lot of people's biggest letdown.
Yeah, but there's some fun episodes, but yeah.
But I think that's the easy choice. I think that's the easy choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, all right, let's move on to our next topic. Most underrated New Ranger. And in the chat, I want to hear your most underrated New Ranger. I'll go first.
Okay.
Actually, I went first on the last one, so you go first.
Dark Ranger.
Oh, that's your biggest underrated New Ranger. Why?
I felt like they haven't, he's such a cool looking character, but they haven't given him a good story yet. And it's how many issues into the Beyond the Grid.
He hasn't done anything.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything. He barely showed up. The one moment he had is with Tyler when he's saving him, But that's about it.
He has one panel that's a great moment, right?
Yeah, one panel.
Great.
Come on. You got 6 Rangers. You have plenty of issues to, do some character development with some of the Rangers, and you're not doing anything. So, yeah.
My most underrated Ranger of 2018. I actually don't remember, so I have to click back to this thing. Was the Solar Ranger.
Oh.
I feel like there's so much hype surrounding this character, And nobody cares anymore.
No one cares because they revealed who it was. I think if they kept it a mystery.
Not only have they kept it a mystery, but I mean, it's fine making a new character, but at least introduce that character in the comics so I can care about them first. Because when you're like, hey, here's the Ranger, and it's almost like that episode of Justice League Unlimited where Lex Luthor and the Flash swap, and the Flash like takes off his mask, and Lex Luthor's like, at least I can know the identity of the Flash, and takes off his mask, looks in the bathroom and in the mirror, and he goes, I have no idea who this is. It's exactly like that, though. You know what I mean?
That's realistic, though.
It is. It's like, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't know who this is. But that's exactly how I felt. It's like, oh, cool. This is who it is. I have no idea who you are. I don't care about you.
Exactly. So you're saying, like, build up the identity first before revealing that she's the Soul Ranger?
I think that's kind of what made... I mean, we're in Power Rangers Zeo and Retro right now, even though, like, the Gold Ranger ended up being a different person. Yeah. But I think the mystery surrounding, like, who it could be...
Are you already on Gold Ranger?
We're not there yet.
I was about to say.
But the mystery of who it could be was kind of cool. But then who it turns out being, I'm really happy with.
Yeah.
But this is one of those cases where it's like, oh, great, like, I don't care.
Well, the mystery could have been fun if they did it like Zeo, you're saying.
It could have been fun if they did it like Zeo, but it could have been fun also if it was somebody.
Yeah.
Or it could have been fun if it was somebody that you introduced in the comics, and then pay it off by making it like, oh, I already knew that character.
Yeah,
like if it, like, for example, let's just say that the Solar Ranger was a male and that happened to be Matt. I already care about Matt, so I'd be like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But
that would be cool.
But now that it's kind of like somebody I don't know, and it's like, oh, great. I don't
know what
care.
that's like? Like, I complain about that now, but before, and I don't know if you play this game, in Arkham Knight, when they revealed who Arkham Knight was, and it just turned out to be Jason Todd, like another Red Hood story. Yeah. I was like, oh, damn, you said it was going to be a brand new character. But yeah, so I can see
let you
polar
down.
Opposites, you know?
In the chat, their most underrated Ranger, we get Jared Hodges says Preston and Levi. Flash says, well, this doesn't count Flash because we said it has to be a new Ranger from 2018. We got Blue JD says Haley from Ninja Steel. We got the Blur saying Preston. Comic Realtor says Magna Defender in the comic series. We also got Rose Ortiz says Lena Song.
Okay.
It's a good one. The Dark Ranger, Rosalind McDonald agrees with you. We have a few. So the Ranger Slayer, Rosalind McDonald, yeah. So there's a few. Most underrated Ranger, Lena Song, SPD Green says Mr. Ray. Yeah. So it varies, but yeah, there's a lot of underwhelming new Rangers. We're gonna get into our list now again, and now we're gonna do favorite comic cover. Yeah. Best comic cover. I go first.
Yep.
I chose the Shattered Grid, or Power Rangers Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 30. Look at that Infinity War cover.
Ooh, the Infinity War variant.
Huh.
That kind of looks a little bit like, or
it's from the comic.
Yeah.
It's from the comic. I actually do like this a lot. I love the mashup series. I also like the fact that, it's...
Oh, he's got the power gems between his fingers.
That's called the Zeo Crystal.
That's the Zeo Crystals?
Yeah, that's the Zeo Crystal.
There's coins on top.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I think that's the coin. You know when they pull the power thing out, the little joystick out of the coin?
Maybe you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, see?
Oh, yeah, they are. They are the power crystals. That would have been smart if it was a Zeo Crystal, though, right?
Yeah, either or.
Either or. Anyway, I really like the cover. I think that it makes the most sense. I think, obviously Infinity War was a big thing in the Marvel Comics and in the movie. And this is the perfect mashup. Just like our shirts from TeePublic, which you can get today. And they make great holiday gifts.
They do.
But, also, if you want to look cool, it's your, whatever next convention you're going to, check out our shirts and get one of them. We actually have, from the movie poster of Infinity War, our own Shattered Grid Power Ranger shirt. You can get that at TeePublic. The link is in the description below. Nice. Check it out. What's your favorite shirt? The one that's the most popular is the Once a Ranger shirt.
Yeah. Now it is, right?
It's definitely the most popular.
What was the most popular at?
Power Rangers in Space. Power Rangers in Space.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. Power Morph it might be Power Rangers in Space, but the Power Ranger Turbo one sold out. Yeah. Like straight up sold out. Yeah, they were pretty close. We didn't have a lot to deal with, though. We also got another super chat. You want to read that?
We do. We got another super chat. It's from Larry Newbill. He says, "Alright, guys, I'm going to bounce out. Good luck. Sunday and no flipping table. Brace yourself, lads." No flipping tables?
Yeah, that's from Game of Thrones, because you're playing Game of Thrones Sunday. You're playing tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Remember that time we played the Westworld RPG and you fell asleep?
Yeah.
It's on here somewhere.
Dude, because that was
in the archives.
It was really late and I don't know. I'm not really a big RPG guy.
I could tell.
He's like,
It's because Corey was doing it. Right?
Huh?
Corey yeehaw.
Corey yeehaw. No, it's just very long, and I don't know. I need visuals. I'm a visual person.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But yes, I think that was a lot of fun. Tomorrow we are going to be playing Game of Thrones, and we're really doing it as a run through. But listen, the cancer's gone, so we can actually have fun playing the game.
Oh, we're not gonna get a relapse or whatever. That was fun though.
Were you here?
Yeah, I was. Because this guy asked me, and it was like 13 hours, and I was like one of the last ones. Yeah, I was one of the last ones here, and we were doing like the end interviews, and then they kept messing. I was like, just answer the damn questions. I want to go home.
That's bad. I was the last one here.
Yeah, you're the last one.
All right, what's your favorite comic cover?
The Shattered Grid #1 cover. Yeah.
Oh, that's your favorite cover?
Yeah.
That's what you chose.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's like the downfall of Lord Draken, and then I don't feel like it was a teaser or like a spoiler for the comic, but
Wait, really?
yeah.
This is your favorite cover out of all the covers we've gotten.
Yes.
Not the Goonies one.
No.
Not any of the parody ones. This.
It's just the anticipation of the build-up of this.
So were you more excited about the contents inside the book more than the cover?
Yeah.
Because the cover is kind of underwhelming to me.
Why?
It's just a helmet going through shattered glass.
It's version 3 Draken, going through glass. It's like he's shattering the grid.
With this helmet?
Yeah.
Just the helmet.
We don't know if his head's in there or not. He's like Boba Fett or Jango Fett,
What's your guys' favorite comic cover? I guess that's going to be hard to
There's so many.
to say, yeah.
I also like the movie parody ones, but there's so many. So many.
There's a lot to choose from. All right, let's move on to our next topic. Ready?
Yeah.
What is it, Jezzer?
Best moment at Power Morphicon.
Ooh, best moment Power Morphicon. What is it?
It's your turn.
It's your turn. I just went first.
No? Oh, yeah, I went first. I think the prom, our Power Morphicon.
Me
prom.
too. That's what I voted on.
Yeah, it was fun.
How could it not be? You were dancing? Is there any
Yeah.
footage of that exists?
Nah,
I think there is. Someone
has to have it. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, to be honest, the second DJ kind of blew, but whatever.
I think it was the most fun. Also, what are some memorable moments from the prom that you can I remember Hector David jumping off a speaker.
Oh, dude, that dude was sweaty.
He was really
He was
sweaty.
super sweaty, and then it got to a point where I was thinking in my head, if he falls and breaks his neck, are we liable?
No, I think Scott would have been liable.
Yeah. So that was fun.
That was my biggest concern. I was like, don't do this.
Yeah. Did you tell him though?
Say, hey. I almost felt like that. Like when you're at like summer camp and I was the camp. I was like, get down from there right now.
I remember Matthew Thompson gave him a hat to wear, and he just kind of tried dipping with it or whatever. Matthew's like, hey, do you have my hat? I was like, no, you shouldn't have given it to Hector. He's super drunk.
That's your first mistake, is giving anything to Hector David.
But it was fun. It was a little crazy. I like seeing all the Power Ranger fans get into it. That's the scariest thing, seeing if they'd actually dance and have fun.
That was fun. I love that Blackwing says the best moment at PMC is talking to all the hashtaggers and Jessica. Blackwing, you didn't go to PMC.
Wait, what? He did really say that?
He means via Skype or via.
I don't think that counts.
It counts. I mean, I guess. I guess if you put it. Hey,
okay,
we can pretend like somebody who's live with us.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, I think that some of the other best moments from that prom were the giveaways. Mm-hmm. That was a lot of fun. Brittany, was her name Brittany? Brittany won prom queen.
Oh yeah, Brittany.
No, not that Brittany. Brittany.
Can't remember her name.
The one that won.
Yeah, cosplayer. Yeah.
Brittany, and then Mikey Perez, prom king.
Is he in here?
And what else happened at prom?
JDF.
Why were you so upset? You were mad. You should have seen Jezzer at prom. 90% of it, you were kind of mad.
It's because the DJ sucked.
You weren't mad because of that.
Yeah,
you were mad at something else. You were like,
the DJ blew.
You were getting all mad.
Everybody started leaving after they changed out the DJ. That's true, right? 100% true. Once they changed out the DJ, everybody started dipping.
And then JDF showed up and nobody. He came in so quietly.
Did you even know?
I knew because I was on stage with him for a second, and then we had went out together.
Yeah, but you didn't see him come in.
I didn't see him come in, but I knew he was on.
Where were you when he came in?
I was back. I was with Allison Sullivan and Jack Guzman.
Yeah, I didn't even know that they came.
Yeah, and Johnny Young Boss showed up at towards the end.
Yeah, the very end.
The Ninja Steel guys were there. They were great.
Ninja Storm
guys.
Yeah.
The Ninja Storm
Those
guys.
were.
Brennan Mejia was there. Like,
Yeah.
he went with Rose's daughter.
Oh, yeah. I saw him leave.
That was a lot of fun.
Everybody went, like, all the Power Rangers went within, like, the first hour.
If you can change anything about Angel Grove Prom, one thing about it, what would you choose to change?
That's hard.
Besides the DJ.
That's hard because, I mean, everything else went pretty...
I would have added 2 more bars.
Yeah. But did you notice not a lot of people complained about the bar line?
Well, the bar line was huge, though.
No.
They were to Josh. Yeah, they were to
were?
Josh. The bar line was huge. It was
Yeah.
pretty packed.
So 2 more bars, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we would have had 2 more. I would think we would have done 2 more bars.
Yeah.
I think it'd been better. But Angel Grove Prom is done. I can relax now until
that was stressful.
the next Morphicon, where I already said that we're not doing Angel Grove Prom. Well, I got a surprise for you guys. We're still not doing Angel Grove Prom again, but we are doing something else.
We're doing a water polo competition.
No, we're not doing a water polo competition, and that's kind of creepy. Why would we be doing a water polo competition?
I don't know.
All right, let's move on to our next topic.
Okay.
All right, we got the
Best THS interview.
Best interview.
Yeah.
All right, so I go first.
Okay.
Actually, I just went first. No, I go first.
I went
right?
first.
My best THS interview was the one that we did with Christopher Kamen Lee, the long form one where he stole my bottle of alcohol at the end. That one was a lot of fun.
That was during ALA. That's almost a year ago.
That was in January. It was in
almost a year
January.
ago. That was a long one.
That was a lot of fun though, because like this is probably the most. He was really open. Like this is where we found out that Melody Perkins was originally going to become the Purple Ranger.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun on this stream. I recommend going back to the archives and watching this one. You're going to learn a lot about Christopher Kamen Lee, and it's no holds barred. Like, he doesn't hold back on anything. He talks about, like,
But isn't this like this stream that you had with him? Isn't that like any other hangout that you have with him where he'll be talking about a lot of things? I feel like he's a very open book.
Well, the reason I like this stream so much, too, is because a couple weeks ago we did one with Roger Velasco. Velasco, and I think that kind of opened the doors for me. This was a test, really, and this whole test was, can I do a long-form interview and keep it interesting the whole time?
Is that the next round?
To bring him in, yeah. Actually, we're going to talk about that, because
Yeah.
we'll talk about it after.
Okay, cool.
But
Ooh, I like that name. Cool.
the long-form interview, I think we get the most information that like, listen, if you go back and watch Rogers, did anybody else know that he almost got into a fight with Christopher Kamen Lee the first time they were shooting on set?
No, I did not know that.
Right? So that's a pretty, like, you get to, like, we pull the onion back a little bit, and you really, really get to find out about what was going on, about how certain people felt about certain things. And, like, Roger, even in Rogers, where he talks about, like, how he considers TJ still being the leader, even though he was blue. I also agree with that. I also think TJ was still the leader. So it's really kind of insightful getting to, like, see what these people saw from their perspective on Power Rangers.
It's like an audio commentary on a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
What was your favorite interview?
My favorite interview was, it was aired in 2018. It was the one you did with Jason David Frank at New York Comic Con.
Oh, that was fun.
That was a good one.
Which one was that? I don't remember it.
It was the one where he talked about where he teased Soul of the Dragon.
Oh yeah.
And he was talking about him going to Power Morphicon in a Lord Draken suit. So pretty much he told us his whole plan for the whole year in one interview. It was a dope.
And it just went over our head like Drax.
Yeah.
You're like, what is he talking
Yeah,
about?
I have no idea what he's doing. And the fun part was like him always trying to like walk through our feed when we're doing interviews, where he's like walking in there like, hey, where you go? What are you doing, dude? Stop.
Yeah. I mean, another fun one too was with him in San Diego, like this past year.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
He's like dressed in a suit, and he was like just about to fly out.
Yeah, he had like his big old sunglasses on because he'd been out, the night before.
Oh, we saw him at that party the night before, at the Power Ranger party.
I think he went to another one because that one kind of died out like towards the end.
Yeah, but we were there at the height though.
Yeah.
Remember, and then you kept stealing those bags.
Yeah.
Remember that?
The bags.
Oh man, I don't know if we should be talking about this.
The bags and the shakers. It's not stealing if they're free.
I think we were only supposed to get one each.
Yeah, but
you ended up with all of the shakers at the end of the night.
Yes, all those shakers, the Power Ranger shakers. I had a yellow one, but I wanted the whole team.
You got the whole team.
I got the whole team.
And then I remember that Josh went to that party and he stole like a stack of those.
Oh really?
He stole a stack of the codes for the Power Ranger game. Now it doesn't matter now. You can't really use.
You
those
can't
codes
use them
anymore.
now, but all right.
But that was a lot of fun. That Power Ranger party was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you to them for also sponsoring Power Morphicon Prom.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. New Way.
Anyway.
I was right the first time. All right, now we got our best return / most surprising return.
Okay. You can go.
No, you go first.
All right.
Oh no, wait. Maybe I do go. No, you go first.
Yeah. Trent from Dino Thunder.
It's a good one.
Because that, like,
He only
off
had
the
3
radar,
lines.
no one knew who was gonna come back. Yeah, just then Trent.
That's it. That's all you got. It's interesting.
Yeah,
That's all you got.
Well, it kind of sucks that they didn't have like a little reunion thing with him and Dr. Oliver and all that, but
Yeah, they don't really make a ton of mention to that.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, it's just pretty much.
I know a lot of the fans are mad that he came back because he didn't have a black neck. It was white, and like, get over it, relax.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, see, I didn't notice.
I think the character's cool. I just wish that the people that came back
Had
did
bigger
more.
story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think he just makes one comment to like, oh, thanks. He calls him Tommy. Actually, I think. He doesn't call. I don't think he calls him Dr. O.
Oh yeah. I think it says. Tommy.
Wouldn't he like
Thanks,
normally?
Tommy.
Yeah, wouldn't he just normally call him Dr.
Yeah,
O?
he's like, oh, you're not a doctor anymore.
He's a doctor. Yeah. He's a doctor. He's a race car driver too. I think my favorite, not my favorite, but my most surprising return, I think, to me, was Karen Ashley for Hyperforce. Mainly, yeah. And here's
Keep going back to Hyperforce.
I think like underrated Hyperforce had a lot of shocking things. Here's the reason I like this though, is because though Karen Ashley did call out the Sabertooth Tiger Zord, which was not her Zord in that episode, but I think it was kind of cool because in Hyperforce that was the first time we knew that this was actually connected to the larger Power Ranger universe because they brought back a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
So it got me at least intrigued in the concept. And I thought that was pretty cool. I do hope Hyperforce gets a season 2. I think it needs to be reworked, though. I think they need to figure out how to make it visually entertaining, because I think that's where it kind of lacks. And also, I think, me personally,
They should change it from like a board game to LARPing.
No, they should not do that, because that's essentially what the show is.
It's gonna be like
show's LARPing.
Legends of Tomorrow.
I don't understand what you meant there.
Yeah.
But do you just fart?
No.
What did you just do? What's that noise coming from your body? What is going on with you? Anyway, Karen Ashley returning to the show I thought was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. And it set up that other Rangers were going to return to the universe in Hyperforce. All right, so let's go on to our best episode.
Of 2018?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, go.
I mean, I'm 90% sure we have the same one.
Yeah, probably.
The 25th anniversary episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, it had a lot of drawbacks. It had some faults. But overall, it was a pretty decent episode.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I mean, there's a couple things that should have changed, but I think that I was pleasantly surprised with it, because for being a 30-minute long episode, 22 minutes really, for being a 22-minute long primetime episode, I thought it was cool that they didn't muff it up.
Yeah. We had a whole little event here at the Comic Bug.
That was
There was
great.
a bunch of people. We had Caleb and Chris come in from Ninja Steel. It was really cool. I think the whole...
Hello, Jezzer farted. Anyway, yeah, you're pretty much like Vic and Monty farting up a storm over here. But anyway, the
More
25th
beans, pork and beans.
the 25th anniversary episode was I think that's probably should be like, it's one of the more underrated team ups.
Yeah.
I think that the story was pretty good. I do remember that one of the Rangers, I'm not going to say who it was, but one of the Rangers did tell me that if you like Tommy, you're going to love the episode. And obviously, any Tommy fans did like the episode. I will say this. This is another reason why I think Soul the Dragon should be made. Is because Tommy's been in a lot of things. But once a lot of people can get that character, lay that character to rest, then you can focus in on another character. I personally don't think I would focus on Wes. Because in Time Force, they're all... mutant hunting racists, but
if you don't know what that is, go back
and read that article.
Yeah.
But I would probably focus. I would like to see them focus more on Adam. I think doing like Adam-centric stuff would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
Yes. All right. So we had the same episode there, I'm assuming. Let's move on to the next category. Best new villain.
You going first? Oh, I'm going
Sure.
first.
We have the same one.
Yeah.
It's the Ranger Slayer.
The Ranger Slayer.
I think the Ranger Slayer is one of the coolest looking villains. Had a great arc in the storyline in the comics, and still does, actually.
Yeah, she's the leader of the new team, I think.
Yeah, why don't you tell us how much you like Ranger Slayer?
I liked Ranger Slayer when she was... You didn't... Of course you knew who it was, but when she was evil. Because she had that Zord, the Grave Zord.
Right.
That was cool. It was like a reimagining of how the Thunder Zords would be.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and she was just kicking butt, like... In the whole series leading up to her reveal and her coming back as a good Pink Ranger. The Blur super chats. He says, "What's a team up you'd wanted to see a team up.
You wanted to bring the Ninja Turtles back, right? Steel Ninja Turtles?
The
Steel Turtles?
The next mutation Ninja Turtles come back.
Ninja Turtle Steel?
Yeah. No. The next mutation. Remember that space episode?
No, I think that out of the 2 Power Ranger teams, what would you want to see?
SPD.
I knew you were going to say SPD. I was going to say...
And RPM.
SPD. I think I go SPD and Time Force.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Especially since, they keep referencing back to Time Force and SPD.
SPD and Time Force. Yeah, but I agree with you. The Ranger Slayer is one of the coolest looking characters. And I think that the SPD, or the Ranger Slayer, that's a pretty... Did you like that episode? Are you a big fan of Venus de Milo?
I have to admit, I did watch the next mutation. Because they kind of made it, at first, canon to the third and last movie.
So Venus de Milo's canon?
Yeah, she was, and then
What
they
happened?
changed it up. They're like, oh man, it's not working.
So did they kill her off? Did they just write her off? Is this a different Ninja Turtle universe?
The series it got canceled. So
hey, are you a
really
sexist
weird.
because you guys didn't have a Venus de Milo in your turtle group?
No, there is a Venus de Milo.
In your turtle group?
Yeah.
Who played it?
It was the guy's
Realm?
creator's wife.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because he's a bitch.
Wow. Starting 2019 off right. Jeez.
You set me up.
Blackwing's gonna go report that back now. All right, so anyway, where were we?
We're
just
talking
talking about the
about
Ranger Slayer.
The Ranger Slayer, yeah.
Hey, would you want to see the Ranger Slayer? I would love to see a Ranger Slayer animated series starring Amy Jo Johnson.
That would be cool. I mean, she could still do it, I think.
She could still be the Ranger Slayer in real life too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great one. All right, let's move on to our next topic.
Next topic.
Next, our best new Ranger.
Best new Ranger. I said the Ryu Ranger.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
Why Ryu Ranger?
Because Ryu's my favorite Street Fighter character, and then, when they had that crossover, it's like, oh, great, he gets a power coin, too! And he turns into, this guy. I like it. I like the shield, I like the whole look.
What is this animal supposed to be? An eagle?
I think it's I think it's like a falcon or something.
But they still call him the Ryu Ranger? Not like an eagle ranger?
Yeah, the Ryu Ranger.
Interesting.
Look at that. That's cool.
Do you think has anybody cosplayed that yet?
100% someone's going to do that within the next year. 100%.
They made the suit though, right?
Yeah.
Bat and the Sun
made a suit, so
that's cool.
Someone has to. I mean, I'm sure. What's that company? Acne. The one that you got the.
Anarchy.
I'm sure Anarchy is gonna make them.
Man, that does look pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
That helmet looks sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good choice. I chose another Hyperforce Ranger.
Oh, did you?
Who do you think I chose?
Yoshi's character.
No, I chose Pink.
Oh, really?
Chloe.
Really?
Here's the reason. She was the most entertaining member of that team.
Yes.
She was hilarious. You could tell that she's really quick on her feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the character was just funny. And
what's her background before joining this?
I think she was like a social media influencer.
Okay. All right.
But she is Strawberry 17. She's a great person in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Sam Darnold here. He's outside. He's not playing in the Super Bowl apparently. I thought she was great. I think that I want them to get a second season. I think that there's a lot still left with her character to be explored.
What's the chances that we're gonna get a second season for?
At this point now, I'd say slim to none.
Slim to none because of how long it's been.
Yeah, I mean you got to think about it. Like when we had the announcement of the other season, we were already past that point. We'd already be in the episodes at this point. It doesn't seem like it did as well. And I know that as you guys I'm sure saw on Hyper RPG, they were. What was that noise? On Hyper RPG, they were definitely trying to get everybody kind of on board with like donating, or what do they call it in Twitch when you don't? Is it donating?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, so they were trying to get them to do that. But Mr. Ray also gives us another super chat. You want to read that?
Yeah, he says I pick Hyperforce Black and Deca Ranger. If I were to choose, that's cool. If I were to choose the Hyperforce Ranger, I'd choose the yellow one.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah,
he was my second choice.
Yeah. One cool thing about her character though is she had a power up though. Mm-hmm. It'd be cool to see what that actually looked like.
Yeah, and that's my point about them kind of making it more visually pleasing.
Yeah.
I think that they we only have like X amount of pictures, but after that it's kind of done.
Do you remember when we did that kind of Hyperforce-esque little thing with the Psycho Rangers, where I was kind of like dragging the characters onto the onto something like that, something that makes it a little bit.
Should we do another one of those?
That'll take a long time. We need to develop.
But it was easy because we made everything up like
on the fly.
I almost think that it was hilarious because like first of all, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we did an After Dark special which we did our own kind of. I think we wanted to show like, hey, it's not that hard to do this.
Yeah.
And we kind of did and we did pretty much a whole like little storyline. And anyone that super chatted got to play the Rangers.
It all took place at a bar.
It all did take place at a bar.
It never left the bar.
But the whole premise of what we did is exactly what they were doing with the Supersonic Rangers, which I find hilarious.
Yeah.
It's essentially the origin of the Psycho Rangers, which is exactly what we did. Mm-hmm. But we did it the same exact way, actually, didn't we?
Kind of. We kind of like, oh, you get this powers, but no, you are evil.
Yeah. But nobody knew that they were evil.
Yeah, no one knew they're evil. They got super into it, and you know.
And then they're like, "Oh, that was a lot of fun." But we should plan one of those out again.
Mm-hmm. When does that board game come out for Power Rangers?
Oh, pretty soon.
Really? Dang.
Yeah.
We should play that.
They're sending us all of everything.
Yes. Even the Hyperforce Rangers.
They're sending us everything.
Nice. That's cool.
Everything. So we'll play that. The only have you played it yet?
No.
So the only downside about that board game though, it's very repetitive. Like
Isn't that what a lot of people like for board games like
it's
that?
It's not like an RPG. Like it's not like Game of Thrones. Or well, Game of Thrones can be repetitive. But like it's almost like, all right, here's the villain. You fight it. You have to beat it. That's it. And it's like, okay, cool. It's not really story driven. But
they'll get there's expansion packs. Who knows?
That's true. Very true. Move on to our next topic. This is actually our final topic, right? And then we can go into our next thing. Yeah. Our final topic: best moment of 2018 of Power Rangers. I'm really curious to see what all the chat says is their best moment as well of Power Rangers 2018. But what's yours?
The return of the Falcon Zord in the 25th
Out of everything that's happened this year, that's your number one.
Because, look, when the Power Rangers was showing on TV and they had the Falcon Zord, it was like a fake model or whatever. This is the first time that they make like a CG version of
it. Looks better than it did in that movie.
Yeah, right?
It does.
It's a CG version. It's pretty much they're doing an animation of the toy, but back when they had the Ninja Rangers on Mighty Morphin, it moved differently. So it was cool to see them bring back an actual Zord an older Zord for a crossover.
I think that's a good one. I'm a big fan of the Falcon Zord too, and I think it's kind of weird though. Like, I do think it's weird that it's always flapping its wings, whereas in the original series it never flapped its wings.
Yeah. Actually, Falcons they glide.
Yeah.
So I thought it was cool.
My favorite part of their announcement of 2018 or moment of 2018 Power Rangers is finding out that Hasbro bought the franchise.
Oh.
We all know that it was dying in Saban's crippled old hands. In his decrepit old hands. And he was, with his decrepit old man hands, it smelled like musk and honey.
What is he
was
working?
Strangling
the
series,
he's working
draining the life out
right?
of it as if it were a succubus.
He was Imhotep from The Mummy.
No, he wasn't doing anything new with the franchise. You could tell that Saban got extremely complacent with the franchise.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, okay, we're gonna air on Nickelodeon, make the same season that you always make.
Whoa.
Best moment from Heel Life 2018 is Jezzer's Freak Out. That was 2018, wasn't it?
That was March of 2018.
But yeah, I think that like Hasbro, mainly because Saban was getting super complacent with the series. It was more of the same every single season. It wasn't progressing to get better, but it didn't want to be any better either.
Yeah.
Like it just wanted to stay on being what it was. And I think that kind of drug it down.
Well, it was self-sufficient, right? Like you just release whatever and it stayed alive kind of with toy sales and everything. So why if it's working, why was he going to change it? Why was he going to be bold?
Well, it's almost like one of those things where it's like, listen, like, all right, think about this. You like basketball, right?
Yeah.
It's no sound. You like basketball, right?
Yeah.
So imagine if you're an owner of the NBA, but then you think in your head, like, you know what? Like, I don't really care about winning championships.
Yeah.
I just want to get attendance and get money because we make enough money off of advertising and attendance.
Yeah.
But I don't care about winning a championship. If you're a player, how would that make you feel?
You'll also be complacent.
That's exactly how I look at Saban, right? I look at that as kind of like he never wanted to progress outside of what he was already doing.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to keep it.
Yeah, I'm not agreeing with the idea, but I'm saying from his point of view, that's why he kept doing it.
Because it's being lazy, though.
Yeah.
Right? And to me, that shows that, like, I don't necessarily care as much about the fans.
Yeah.
And
would you ever want to have a sit down with Haim Saban?
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think that conversation would go anywhere, or do you feel like he'd be kind of like zoned out on?
I don't think he would care.
Yeah.
Like I honestly don't. I think he'd be. It's almost like talking to Avi Arad. Like I've talked. Have you ever met? You know who Avi Arad is?
The guy from like the X-Men movie.
Yeah. Like I've talked to him, and like he just cared so much about the thing that he was doing. He doesn't really care about like when I tried to talk about like, hey, you stuck Venom into that third Spider-Man movie and it didn't quite work. He didn't really want to acknowledge that. It was more like, yeah, I messed up, but let's talk about it. And I'm like, listen though, the more entertaining part is about talking about your failures.
Your past, yeah.
I think, listen, one thing I've learned about 2018, and I think that we've talked about this too, is that if you can embrace your failures and understand that like, hey, fuck it, this is who I am, this is what made me, but then learn from it, and I think it makes you, I think that people kind of, you endear yourself to people better.
Yeah.
I mean, you embrace it, right? I think Saban made a lot of mistakes, and I think that it'd be kind of interesting to like sit down and talk with him, and I'm sure that he'd give the PR answer of like, oh no, you know, the reason why I chose like the Yellow Ranger to be an Asian and the Black guy to be a black guy was because they fit those roles. It's like, shut the fuck up, come on. Like that's a dumb answer, but I would really like to know the real answer of that.
What's the possibility of you actually getting him in a sit down?
Hey, slim. If I had that possibility, it was during the 2017 movie.
Yeah.
And if it didn't happen, then it's probably never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Never say never, but I'm sure it'll never happen.
Never say never.
But I do think that was my Hasbro buying the franchise. Here's the reason why this can also be the biggest failure of 2019 though.
What?
Is because I think there's a lot of pressure on Hasbro at this point, but I think they put the pressure on themselves. So, well, that's not necessarily true. The fans also put the pressure on them. So think of it like this. The Lightning Collection announcement, I thought was a brilliant move. Mm-hmm. Making the Rangers, like, and announcing like it was going to be the White Ranger, the Shadow Ranger, Magna Defender. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was a great move. However, I also thought it was a ballsy move to use Go Buster as your next season.
Yeah.
But I know that was like kind of towards the Saban thing. However, the problem with that is with it being like, hey, we're going to take it back to what it was. There's two problems I have. Number one, listen, I have no hate against Chip Lynn. However, Chip Lynn is serving a greater master. That sounded super slavery-ish. But Chip Lynn is serving like a greater purpose.
He serves the beast.
And that greater purpose is like still fart jokes and dumb things.
Yeah.
And I think that with his comments at PMC, which one of you guys had mentioned in the chat, I think that, to me, automatically was like, oh, this is going to be another one of those seasons.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have high hopes for it, but I think a lot of people have had high hopes for Power Rangers in the past and been let down. Now, my problem with this, though, is that since this is supposed to be a special agent season, like, show me that they're going to change it and cast older. Like, cast something different. And they didn't do that.
Too late.
It's too late now, right? So it's kind of like, okay, you're making a lot of decent decisions.
I like seeing the figures, though, the articulation on those figures.
Sure, they're making a lot of cool decisions, but at the same time, they're making a lot of decisions that are extremely questionable.
But that could also be, we could also chalk that up to Saban having their hands on it still. Like, maybe this isn't a full Hasbro.
So I actually think it's more like this. And this is the way I'm kind of looking at this. You know how Marvel kind of has Kevin Feige taking control of the movies, then Ike Perlmutter takes control of the TV shows?
Yeah.
I think it's very much like that in Power Rangers, whereas it's Chip Lynn taking control of the TV show, and then it's Jason Bischoff controlling everything else, all the other decisions.
Oh.
And Jason Bischoff is the one that made the announcement to Lightning Collection, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't on the main panel when they did Jason Bischoff wasn't on that main panel when they introduced the new cast.
Yeah.
But then Jason Bischoff was talking about the new comics. So
do you feel like Jason Bischoff is more entwined with the Power Ranger community
absolutely
than Chip Lynn, who's
100%, 100%.
been part of the show for how many years?
I'm a big supporter of Jason Bischoff because he's looking at it the same way you and I are looking at it, from a fan perspective.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's a wrong way to look at it. I think that Jason Bischoff has a keen eye for knowing what he wanted as a fan and is trying to give the fans that, but I think there's a lot of red tape he has to go through. Now, of course, he has to play the corporate role of being like, you know what, if there's a decision that's made, you know, he has to just go along with it.
Yeah.
But I do find it interesting, though, if you look at the way that Power Rangers is structured, everything concerning the TV show is really handled by Chip Lynn, and everything that's outside of that is handled by Jason Bischoff's team. And I find that very interesting.
Who would you want to replace Chip Lynn?
Me.
You? 100%?
I wouldn't do it.
Maybe Kyle?
No. Kyle would be a good choice.
Ryan Parrott.
I think if I was going to give it to anybody, I would give it to Kyle. But then you're going through a different territory because Then you're having to put a lot of red tape onto Kyle, being like, okay, here's what you can do, here's what you can't do.
So he wouldn't have any like creative freedom as far as...
He wouldn't have as much creative freedom as he had in the comics. If I was to give it to anybody, honestly, I would give it to Eddie Gazillion.
Eddie Gazillion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would give it to Amit, the dude that did the...
Time Force. Forever Red.
Forever Red.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool.
I would give it to him.
What's he doing right now?
Well, you'll find out. You'll find out very soon here at that hashtag show.
That wasn't supposed to be... I didn't know it was going to be a teaser, but... Okay,
you will find out very soon at that hashtag show. Actually, he just texted me.
Nice.
We have something special, super special coming up with him.
Yes.
That'll be a lot of fun. But that's who I would give it to. Because, listen, you got to think about story. And I know, like, Blackwing says he'd give it to Jackie Marchand. I think that's a bad idea.
Jackie Marchand.
She did the original series. I wouldn't give it to anybody that has any ties to the original series, to the past. Because that's exactly what they tried with Jonathan Zacher. Mm-hmm. Is they were like, you know what, he had the original show, he worked on the original show. That's exactly what they did with Chip Lynn.
Yeah, they brought him back.
I think for me personally, I would go with somebody that had a great shining moment and a great shining season, or I would go with Kyle Higgins. Like you can't really go wrong there, but again, that's a creative thing that he'd have to get through.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's a lot to look forward to in 2019 with Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Jezzer, before we wrap up today's show, what are you most looking forward to in 2019?
Just seeing how they execute Beast Morphers. I mean, we could, of course we have our doubts, and that's just from past experience. But, I mean, who knows? It might actually be good. We don't know.
I'm not going to give up hope on Beast Morphers. I think, like I said, it's a ballsy move to even choose Go Buster.
Yeah.
But I think I'm looking forward to that too. I think I'm looking forward to the most though.
2019
is Cosmic Protectors.
Ooh.
Which I think Daniel was supposed to do his audio today for that, but I don't know if that's happening. But I know that
I can't wait.
We've been getting a lot of that stuff back, and it looks great. As long as it's executed the way I want it to be, because the story is pretty fucking deep, dude.
Yeah.
There's even something that when Daniel and I were driving out here today, like we had talked about a certain thing, and we're like, oh wow. That's a great, we're going to change, a thing up just of those talks. But I'm looking forward to it, man. My life has been so ingrained in the last couple of days with that story in my head.
Man.
And just
Are you dreaming about it as you say?
I have had dreams about it, yes. That's a true story. I've had dreams about it. And some of those dreams, legit one of the dreams I put it, made into a scene. Because it was just like, oh man, this is crazy.
Are you one of those people that as soon as you wake up from a dream, you write it down in a notebook?
Not unless it's impactful. I have a lot of, last I was telling you guys about it, I had a nightmare last night.
Yeah.
And I literally woke up screaming. But then,
yeah.
It was just crazy. But I have a lot of crazy dreams every night. But also the cool thing about Cosmic Protectors, before we get too deep into it, that's what she said. Right?
Damn it.
You're missing opportunities,
I know,
bro.
Man.
Before is that a lot of you guys are gonna get a chance to be Rangers yourself.
Yes.
Now, some of you guys are already going to be on that list, like Layla, like Matthew Thompson, like Larry. But some of you guys
be monsters.
Can be monsters. Some are also monsters,
yeah.
like Blackwing.
Ratwing. Am I the one that gets to kill Ratwing?
Well, you're not even in season 1.
Ah, damn it.
Actually, you are but in a small role. No pun intended, because you're only 5'3". Oh, sorry, I gave you an inch. You're 5'2", aren't you?
Shut up.
But yes, there's going to be a lot that's going on. But we're going to be starting a Patreon, not a Patreon. A Patreon. Right? Patreon very soon, and we're gonna and a Kickstarter very soon, because that's going to have different tiers, and it's going to give you a little insight into what we're doing. Now, a lot of things aren't out there yet for it. We haven't put any of the artwork out. I think we put out.
We had that background, remember?
That's not our artwork. From what we're doing on the show. It's completely different. But there's some stuff that we're going to start putting out so you guys can get a chance to see what it really is. And I can't wait for you guys to see that. But, Jezzer, before we close out 2018...
Yes, sir.
What do you got coming up on Henshin Hangout? And also, stick around. The box office showdown with me, Daniel, and Jezzer is going to be going off. And we're going to be talking about all the fun movies coming out. All right, so what do you got going on in Henshin?
We're going to be talking about how...
Who's we, first of all?
Oh, we have a special guest, but you guys are going to have to tune in to see who it is. But we're going to be talking about how chicken is better than salmon. Yep.
Huh?
Yeah. You just got to watch.
Chicken is better than salmon?
Chicken is better than salmon.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Literally within the next couple of minutes, they're going to go live. Within the next couple of minutes, right?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, they're going to go live with Henshin Hangout. Join them over. Jezzer's on with a special guest, and it's somebody that a lot of you guys know who it is.
Yeah.
But join them live on Henshin Hangout. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a safe New Year's, and welcome in 2019 together, and let's make this community the strongest community it can be for 2019. Thank you guys so much for spending your Saturday with us. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.